Hi, this is Kevin Thomas with the At Home Film Festival. I'm supposed to be in Palm Springs right now for Cinema Diverse, my absolute favorite film festival. But it mostly went virtual and it was drive-in, so I decided not to go, especially since I didn't get together my web out program, which I've done for the last 3 or 4 years, which I have so loved. But I decided, you know what? I could do web out from home. So I have made a playlist here on my YouTube channel. So you're on my channel now, just look into my playlist and look for web out and you could see 14 shows that I loved that I brought to Cinema Diverse. Now, the great thing about web series is you really don't need me to have you watch them. You could just go to YouTube and find most of these shows on your own. In fact, every show I'm talking about today is on YouTube with a little exception at the end, so stay tuned. But these shows are all wonderful and I really enjoy them and I've so much enjoyed my time with Cinema Diverse. Can't wait to be back next year with new shows for you and repeats of some shows that I've loved. So let's get started. Our first show is Daddy Hunt, the serial. Now, one thing I love about this show and actually many web series is episodes could be 2 to 3 minutes. You could watch the first season of Daddy Hunt in 15 minutes. Right, that's right, the whole season. But this is a well-crafted show about a blossoming romance between an older man and a younger guy, people that might have met on the app Daddy Hunt. But here we have Jim Newman from the New Village People, even though they don't call themselves the New Village People, but still, it's a really good show. He's a great actor. Everyone's super talented in this show. It's in its 3rd season. I'm doing episode 1 of season 3 for you in my playlist, but this is the first moments of Daddy Hunt the serial, just to get you a taste and an interest in it. And although it's based upon an app for men to meet men, it is very straight-friendly, very women-friendly. It's just, if you like quality, then you'll like Daddy Hunt. And you should subscribe to the channel to keep up with future episodes and what's going on with the show's future. But Daddy Hunt is a definite winner. Then we have Take One Thing Off from Scout Durwood. Okay, although she's been famous in LA for years, I learned of Scout Durwood last year, right before Cinema Diverse. I hunted her down to find her so I could screen her show. Take One Thing Off is like a video album, but it's also an album. You could hear all the songs, but she has so many comical episodes that are so great. Last year, I was so torn between doing a song or a comedic episode. So I did a song just to show people her diversity and greatness and talent. But now I'm doing an episode called Frenemies, which shows her, she's so funny. I'm in love professionally with Scout Durwood, and you will be too. Scout, I will be hunting for you next year because I know you've got other new content that you're promoting that I would love to screen next year. But right now, if you subscribe to her channel, you can get ahead of the game and watch other things from the great, wonderful, talented, beautiful, funny, sexy, lesbian. I throw that in because I didn't want her to think that I have a chance with her. And she knows I don't because she knows I'm a gay man. But anyway, Scout, you're so talented. Thank you for brightening up my days in life with your humor and everything that you offer us. See ya, Scout. I don't know why I did the salute. Other people I fell in love instantaneously is here, Tyler Martin. After I saw his show, I had to screen it, of course, and I've screened it now for 2 years. I'm showing you the pilot because it really just brings you in. And I am so fortunate that I was able to interview Tyler once and meet him and his great partner Enrique and their friend, the world's 2nd greatest assistant, Paige, which she knows what I'm talking about. Sorry, Paige, you're not a #1 assistant, but you're #1 in my heart. But Tyler Martin's show, Don't Suck, is so funny. It's not a fish out of water per se, but because he plays some guy from Texas that comes to New York, but he just fulfills every person's dream of enjoying the landscape, coming into the funniest situations, making fun of the situations, not only because of the situation, but because he's so funny. He's great with physical humor. He's a great writer, director, average singer. Sorry, but he does sing one time. But in all, Tyler Martin's an amazing person. And now from this, he has gone on to do a great podcast. So if you subscribe to Don't Suck, on YouTube, you can also find his podcast. Because Tyler, I support you. You know you're my little buddy. And I don't just say this, all these praise of his work because I like him. I like him because of his work. Figure that one out. Thank you, Tyler. Another salute. The Gay Husbands of San Francisco. How could I not love this? I'm from the Bay Area. So this is a twist on all those housewives of whatever. Very funny troupe of people from San Francisco that elevate this show to gloriousness that I am so happy to have discovered. And I actually know most of these people, and just because I see all the work that they do, they're so funny. And it doesn't hurt to be super funny and sexy. I can't figure one of these guys not someone I'd like to go out with, but that's another story. Thank you, Ada, for creating such a witty, funny, creative show. I hope there's more seasons in our future. If they do a GoFundMe page, go fund them. Do you hear me? Fund all these people if you like it. Really, support the arts. Now let's take a trip from San Francisco to now New York. West 40s is exactly how it sounds. It takes place in the West 40s area of New York, but it's more about 4 friends in their 40s that are real and honest and have great storylines. I shouldn't make a big plural of that because there's only been 1 episode to date. So they need funding too. So if you like this show and you want more seasons, go fund them. It's really good. The cast is universally great. There's sexy people in it, but I don't want to always make sexy as a reason I like a show. I do like the character development in particular in this show, and that they have all different archetypes of people that we have. And I can't be alone in my thoughts because the Writers Guild of America nominated this for Best Writing, and that's a very prestigious award. So if you want to stick in New York and watch a really good show, it's West 40s. Or maybe you're someone that likes the 30s. So the New 30 is the show for you. Great friends in this show. I feel that they're real friends because the chemistry is there. One of the few shows that's been recognized by the Emmy Awards with a great nomination for Best Show. It's only had 1 season. This is another one I hope comes back because I'm still waiting to see what happens with some of the characters. But I really enjoy the New 30, and you will too. It's from start to finish. It's really a wonderful, well-crafted show. And I'm so happy to have screened it at Cinema Diverse. And I hope there'll be new episodes for me to do in the future. Oh my God, for a time that we can't travel, now we're going back to New York for the New York Effect. Hate to keep jumping around the country, but this is another really good show that I don't remember how I discovered this on YouTube. Probably I just YouTubed gay web series that are good. And then, of course, the New York Effect came up. Juan Rivera has put together a really good show. I'm here to also support the Latino community. When I do these shows and make selections, I try to represent so many different types of people, but still keep it up with quality. So I don't want to just do movies that appeal to a gay man. A gay white man. I want to, look at different cultures, and I don't care if you're lesbian, bisexual, trans, or fluid. If you have made a good show, I want to see it. I know a lot of times at film festivals, all the men get in line for gay movies, and the lesbians get in line for lesbian movies, but quality is quality. So the New York Effect falls into that category, so let's support it. Why don't we go back to the West Coast? That's right, we're going back to Oakland. We were in San Francisco, now we're in Oakland. This show is probably the oldest on my list, but I love it so much because it's Oakland where my people are. But I also love it because it's still relevant today. It's timeless, except for the cell phones. They really are dated, but you can't go CGI those in because who has a budget for that when you're making a web series? But anyway, if you really want to get a taste of Oakland and see how beautiful it is and meet some interesting people that you can call your friends, you should seek out Dyke Central. I really enjoyed this show. I have supported it ever since it came out. I'm very happy to do Michael and Michael Are Gay. There's 2 Michaels and they're gay. That's just the beginning of the story, but they get in the most interesting and funny situations. The 2 guys are a real couple in real life, and yes, they're both named Michael, so maybe it's real adventures that they've had in life, which would make it even funnier. So I am showcasing the 2nd episode about dinner with straight friends, which I could not stop laughing. I think a snort even came out of my nose because it was so funny. So you must watch Michael and Michael Are Gay. Hopefully next year I could bring them back to Cinema Diverse when we go live and real again. Stuart Wade must have a thing for coffee, which I mentioned before and I talked about his movies because he always has something to do with coffee. But his Coffeehouse Chronicles, which became a movie as well, it's a bunch of vignettes that could be all watched separately in no particular order about different people starting relationships, ending relationships, and learning while having a cup of coffee together at different coffee houses. It's really a very fun show. It's also dramatic. Every episode is like a little movie, so you could watch them independently, not in order, or you could wait for the movies to come out. In fact, he already had a successful Coffeehouse Chronicles movie. He told me he's doing another one, and he's going to have a new episode in that. So you got to just subscribe to his channel to keep up with Coffeehouse Chronicles. And I don't know how he does this, but he managed to get every popular gay actor that we've ever had in his shows. Let's take a look. We've had Drew Droege, Daryl Stevens, Sam Pancake, Chris Salvatore, David Pesner, Adam Huss, Alec Mappa, what? And Jason Stewart have all been in Coffeehouse Chronicle episodes. So I don't know what you're doing, Stewart, to bring the talent in. Maybe you're giving quality scripts, but you keep doing that, and I'm going to support you, and hopefully next year we'll have another episode to do at Cinema Diverse. Okay. Brad is so funny as well as sexy. He plays a lot of heroes of Disney characters in LA. But he came up with the show Status Updates about two millennials, one gay, one straight, navigating the dating and friendship world out there in LA. So this is not the show. This is Brad doing a great funny promo, which is as funny as the show, to get people to fund his show. So last year he'd only had one episode done, which I screened at Cinema Diverse, and it was in a segment I did about helping fund shows. So I think Brad got a little money out of that, so he's done a couple of other episodes. But Brad is so funny. Like, look at him in just this promo for his GoFundMe page. He's playing all these different parts because when you know what? When you make a web series, you are all of those people. So all of these shows, if you like them, they need your support if they're going to keep continuing. In the meantime, you watch in my playlist Brad's pilot episode of Status Updates, and you too will be charmed by his charm. Anyway, thank you, Brad. Good luck to you. One of the first web series I ever saw was Her Story. I thought this show, why is it not on a network? Maybe because of the trans theme wasn't such a popular item several years ago, but this was really a groundbreaking show ahead of everybody else. Jen Richards, who we've all seen Jen in so many great shows. She's quite the talent, whether she's behind the screen or in front of it. And this also is the show that introduced us all to Angelica Ross. Who? Angelica Ross from Pose. I think Angelica Ross was robbed of an Emmy nomination this year for Pose because she gave an amazing performance, and I just think she's so talented, as well as everybody in Her Story, with these very relevant stories about transgender and people having phobias against them or prejudices against them. But it's also from a straight person's point of view, so it's not just a trans story, it's a human story, which is probably why of all the web shows in the world, this is probably the first one, fact to be checked, I'm not positive, that was Emmy nominated. Yes, Emmy nominated. I said for years that web series need to be in the Emmy category, especially in the daytime Emmy category, because now that all the soap operas are gone, except for 4 or 5 of them, we need to have, competition's healthy. We need to just put all these web series in that and compete against that, because otherwise every soap opera that's currently on TV will be nominated for Best Drama Series every year because all it has is the 4 or 5 of them. So let's allow these great web series to compete in that, and not just a web series internet category. Go head on, because the quality is there and it's getting more and more attention. But in the meantime, enjoy my playlist and watch this and other episodes of Her Story. When I first discovered Old Dogs and New Tricks, I wrote that it was the gay Sex in the City, which I still think it is. 4 really good friends that complement each other in every way, support each other, It goes through several seasons of highs and lows of relationships and comedy. I even thought it got better over the years, like when they added Bruce L. Hart to the cast. It's really a good show, and I don't know how in the heck that they also get some big names in there, like Greg Louganis. He was a semi-regular. He's not normally an actor, but yet here he's starting to show up and everything. And Britannia Alda. You don't know that name, but if you've seen Mommy Dearest, and you have, she plays Barbara. And you know in that show it's, Barbara, please! I mean, that was her. So she's in the show, and they even used that line, Barbara, please, because her character's name is, yes, Barbara. Very witty and funny. Enjoyed on my playlist. They also, if you put it on if you subscribe to it, they have a reunion episode that they just did that will really give you updates on their characters and the people that made this. Child of the 70s is such an interesting show because mainly the guest stars. So first of all, we have Michael Vaccaro, who plays a guy that goes from New York to LA and gets involved in soap operas, and he goes back to New York for Broadway. But in this show, the thing that I find most interesting is the fact that, and I asked Michael Vaccaro this once, I asked, how do you get these big names? He said, I just call them. I could call them and they're not gonna answer. But like, look at this. So every season, whoever played his mother was a different 70s actress. Now I asked Michael about that, but he always thought it was funny how Bewitched would change Darren's. So we kind of paid homage to that by changing the actresses that played his mother. And then he has, over the years, actors that were former porn stars, and now they're doing more legitimate work, and they're very talented. The guy that plays his boyfriend, Leo Forte, super hot, super adorable. Then he has, like, who else does he have in there? Then he has, oh my God, he's got Randy Jones from The Village People, Jerry Jewell from The Facts of Life, Bruce Valanche, funny in everything, he wrote everything, and Susan Olsen, Cindy Brady. How does he get these people? Anyway, those shows are all on my playlist. But if you want to keep going and learn more about web series, you could subscribe to REVRY. They have a lot of wonderful shows. I've done many of them at Cinema Diverse. In particular, I've enjoyed Persianality, Barbell, and Same Same. Another streaming channel that I love is HERE TV. In fact, I did a segment just recently on their great movies that they have. And in fact, if you go below, yes, look down. If you read the comments, you could get HERE TV for free for a month. Thank you, HERE TV. And besides watching their great movies, I have screened at Cinema Diverse some of their wonderful series, in particular, Now What? That has the sexiest, hottest men, and there's such interesting plot twists besides the fact that they're always in bed. But this show could be watched in any orders because each show has a start and a finish and they're unrelated to each other except for the fact that they're all really good. Then we have From Here On Out, which not only is a parade of hot men from the funny actor and writer Terry Ray, but it also features Juliet Mills, you know, the nanny and the professor. They also had this nice lesbian show called Tiny Nuts, and I'm a big fan of Single Man Problems. There's so many other ones that I hope to bring to you next year when we go back to Cinema Diverse in person. In the meantime, hopefully you enjoy my playlist. Please subscribe and share and give me comments, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.